Hi guys, and welcome back to the next video in our 5-inch FPV quad build. In this episode we're going to be installing the Xylo Stax V2 electronic speed controller. But before we take a look at that, I want to quickly show you some 3D parts that have just arrived from Brain 3D. We've got some arm protectors for those. We've also got the antenna mount for the rear of the quad. And we've also got this front bump stop. We don't need those just yet, but to start with, we're going to install this front bump stop. So in order to do that, we're going to remove these two front screws. Sorry, these two front screws. That one. The bump stop will just slide over the front like so. We put these two screws back in. Just a little dab of Loctite. Something worth mentioning, guys, in the frame building video I didn't mention the use of Loctite, but all of these screws, bolts, whichever you want to call them, they have all been Loctited because I don't want any of these coming undone. Just have a little smidge of Loctite. Place that there. Have a little dab of Loctite. Push through the TPU bump stop. So there we go, guys, that's what the bump stop looks like. Right, onto the speed controller. Like I said before, guys, we're using the Xylo Stax V2 F4 electronic speed controller. Let's have a look what we get inside the box. Obviously we get electronic speed controller. It looks like so. And we also get a bag containing a couple of resistors, some power cable for the battery, an XT60 connector, which will need soldering, a cable, and 4 rubber gummies. Right, to install this, we need to refer back to a hardware pack that came with the frame, and we need to grab these, I believe they're 22mm bolts. The mounting holes on this ESC are 30mm. So we'll be placing these in the outer holes, because you can also use 25mm mounting holes as well. But we need 30mm, so we're going to use the outer ones. So I'm just going to screw those in. so. That's 4. I'm also going to Loctite these down as well, guys. I don't want any vibration going through to the ESC. But for this, I'm going to use the liquid type because I literally only want it on the end, like so. So I'll put a little dab on there. Came out a bit too fast then. Little dab on there. A dab there. Then guys, we're going to screw those down. Okay guys, that's the stack screws installed. Next, we're going to have to remove the top plate because we're now going to start installing the electrics. So we'll remove these. And the flush bolts. Okay, we'll move those and put them to one side. Okay guys, we'll just lift off that top plate. There we go. And you can now see the stack screws that we just installed. Let's grab a bit of tissue, clean up that. Just remove the excess Loctite. Okay guys, we'll just quickly make sure these are cinched up nice and tight. Yep. Okay guys, next we're going to need some spacers to keep the electronic speed controller away from the carbon, and as you can see those stand-up nuts, we don't want them touching the bottom of the ESC. So what I've got is a washer set here, and we're going to use, what ones have we got? We'll go with, do they fit? Yeah, perfect. I'm just going to place a couple of those. On each one of the sorry, these ones. On each of the standoff screws. That'll just keep a nice distance between the bottom of the electronic speed controller and the carbon from the frame. One, two. Brilliant. Put that away, we won't need that again. Okay. The way the ESC goes on is you want this side facing up, not that side. So you want the connector facing up, also these two pads, and we want these two battery solder pads to face the back of the drone. So we'll just slowly push that down, making sure that the gummies don't pop out. Just ease it down. Okay guys, that's all the way down. What we need to check for is the gap between the bottom of the ESC and the frame, and also these stand-up nuts. We don't want them touching, or it could cause a short circuit. Okay guys, all that's left to do is solder up the XT60 lead, which I'll be doing at a later date. I will do that once the motors are installed. One quick word on soldering. Because I'm an okay solderer, but I don't really rate myself as being able to do a tutorial video on it. I'm not actually going to be telling you how to solder. What I'll do is, Joshua Bardwell has got an awesome soldering tutorial video, which I'll link in the description down below, and I highly recommend that if you're new to soldering or you haven't done very much, rather than testing it out on an expensive ESC, go and watch his soldering video and then come back to us.